Hey, it's DJ, and I fix stuff. This is a Victrola record player with Bluetooth. You may have seen these before. Maybe you have one, which, come to think of it, that's probably why you clicked on this video in the first place. Anyway, this is my daughter's, and she brought it to me because Ringo was sounding a little bit more subdued than usual, kind of what? Okay, maybe that's too close to actual Ringo. But anyway, records were kind of sounding a little warped. So, first thing she did was look at the records. They weren't warped, they were fine. So she handed it over to me to see if I could do anything with it. And it actually didn't take very long to figure out the source of the problem. So if you have one of these, there's a pretty easy fix. It's the first thing that you should do before you toss this thing in the trash. Don't throw it away because it can be fixed very cheaply, very easily. And I'm going to show you how. So the first thing that has to happen is you have to take the turntable off. And there's a little clip that holds it on right in the middle there, and that keeps the turntable from just randomly moving up and down or coming off, flying off unexpectedly. Just use a pair of needle nose pliers and grab it. You're not going to want to use your fingers, and I'm going to tell you in advance, this is kind of annoying, this little process, and it's tough to get off. So try your best not to bend it or break it. But if you get a hold of one side, and I'll show you a close-up of this, if you have to kind of get into like one side of it, and that's what the pliers help you do, is really get in there. So grab one side and do the best you can to just sort of pull it off. If I were you, I'd wear some kind of glasses or eye protection. Yeah, it just takes a little finessing, and that's the reason for the eye protection or glasses. You don't, want that thing flying off and hitting you in the face. But if you get a good grip on it, eventually it will come loose. Try not to bend it. Then there it is, that little bugger right there. Kind of a pain. And when you go back to put it on, we'll cover that, but might be even more of a pain to put it back on. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that. Now all there is to do is the turntable just lifts right off, and you're going to see the little belt around it if it doesn't slip off. And you just lift that up and you'll see that belt, and don't worry, you can take it off. You're not going to break anything. It just lifts off. The only thing holding it is the belt, so don't worry too much about that. So that's the turntable, and this is the belt. It's what it looks like right here. It's stretchy, it's rubber. And these are the things that get worn out, dry, dusty conditions, um, that can start deteriorating the belt and make it just a little bit loose. And that's what gives you that wobbling, warpy sound is the belt. And this particular record player was used in Southern California, where it's very dry and hot, and it caused the belt to wear out pretty quickly. So expect maybe a year or 2 years on the belt, probably. Just kind of depends on your conditions and how often you use the record player. But it just goes around that little spindle right there, that small spindle. It wraps around there, and then the other part wraps around the turntable. There's a section on the turntable where that goes. There's this little lip on the turntable there, and you can see how that goes right on there. You just wrap it around there. And this is my suggestion, is to do this part first, is to wrap it around the turntable first before you start putting it on the spindle. And from my experience, that's been the easiest thing to do, as easy as this thing will get. And I'll show you in a minute. So you'll see how it just wraps around there, and you want to make it as even as possible all the way around. So just kind of adjust it down, and there's a little lip on there that you can use. I wouldn't pull it down all the way to that lip, because what can happen is it doesn't line up just right with the spindle, and then you'll have an even tougher time getting it to wrap around both of them at the same time. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. But just kind of just adjust it down as much as you can, and just make it as even as you can. If it's uneven, it's going to give you that warping sound again. So you definitely don't want that after all your hard work. So go ahead. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to stretch it out and put it onto that little spindle right there. So stretch it out, just pull it out just a little bit, just enough with your finger just to kind of get it around the spindle. Now, you can see that part goes right on top of the main spindle. So you're going to want to kind of line that up at the same time that you're doing this. And you're going to use a lot of curse words, maybe some you've never used before. And see, yeah, it's kind of a pain. It does not want to go back on willingly. You're going to have to really finesse this thing. And it is a pain in the butt to do it. This is probably the worst part of this fix. And I think I've I've done it when I originally fixed this. I think it took me maybe 6 or 7 times to actually get it to go back on, and it's extremely frustrating. So because getting it on that thing and stretching it over the main spindle at the same time, you're doing it blind, so you can't really see what's going on. And if you try to see, then you've got it lifted up too high, and then it pops off. So just do the best you can with this, and yeah, it's going to be a little frustrating. So just trial and error. Just keep trying it. Keep trying to smep and see. Yeah. So this is going to happen quite a lot, I imagine. If you're still struggling with it, one thing that helps me as I'm putting it on is, hold the belt onto the turntable with your thumb if you can. If you had 3 hands, it would be a lot easier. But like me, I'm going to bet you probably don't have 3 hands. I don't know anybody who has 3 hands. But if you can get somebody to help you, maybe they can hold it on. But again, it's just a matter of finessing it, and you'll get it eventually. It's just a matter of lining it up and pushing it on, and then you'll kind of feel it like tug, and so there it goes. Once you have it on, just testing it is the next step. So it's pretty easy to do. You just turn on the record player and then just lift the needle up. And if that starts moving, then you're good. You did it. Yay. And the last step is to put this little clip back on. And like I mentioned earlier, if you thought it was difficult taking the clip off, just wait till you try and put it back on again. This is really a pain in the butt. Again, just like everything else, you kind of have to finesse it. So you use the needle nose pliers and just push it on there. If you grip one side of it and just push, try with pushing with your fingers, holding it on. It does require some pressure to get it on there. And when you do finally get it on, you're going to kind of hear like a pop sound. It's going to feel like a clunk, like you're really going to push it on there. So this, again, it takes a little bit of doing. Just keep at it, keep trying, and of course, try not to bend the clip if you can help it. But just do the best you can with it. There you have it. Just as easy as that. I know. Once you start doing it, you're going to be cursing me because it is a little tough. Just a couple little things, getting that clip off and getting the belt on blind. It's a little bit tricky, but you can do it. I know you can do it. I have faith in you. It's a relatively easy and an inexpensive fix to get this Victrola running again. So don't throw yours away. Check the belt first. Put a new belt on there. You really can't check it. You just have to put it on and see if that's the issue. So you have to get one and try it. That's the only way. That's the first thing that I would do, is just check that belt and see if that fixes your issue like it did with this one. So good luck with that. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And I hope this was helpful for you. And if it was, please like the video and please subscribe. And thanks so much for watching.